Let's talk about the anime Heavenly Delusions. Now, Heavenly Delusions is a new anime from this season, spring 2023, and it's been airing, and I think we're like 8 or 9 episodes deep so far. And it's been interesting because, one, it's based in a post-apocalyptic world, but also this anime is telling us two stories at the same time. Because the first story is two characters that are traveling all through like a post-apocalyptic Japan, and the other story is we see all these kids that are at this school that's actually technically a lab because it's kind of cover up because these kids live all in this quote-unquote lab, and like they kind of just like they're basically test tube babies if you think about it, because some reason like they're in this random like place, and it just seems like there's a whole bunch of people there that are scientists and all these other things that are just keeping the kids there and not letting them go outside. So it just basically seems like they're test tube babies. But yeah, there's that, and then there's also this threat that all the humans have about these things called like man eaters, and like they're always these weird looking creatures. And there's also like a thing that like maybe humans, certain humans that get a disease turn into these man eaters. So there's all these like interesting mystery things about it, because we still don't know like how exactly the post-apocalyptic like world actually happened to Japan. It's either maybe an earthquake or something. Maybe it has to do with the man eaters. Maybe it could be a thing where when it comes to that school, what if that school is like taking place in the past while like the story we're learning with the two characters taking place in the present? I'm not really sure. It seems it's like giving off that type of vibe, especially because when we see one of the main characters, Maru, he looks so similar to like one of the girls that's in the school. So maybe it's like one of them things where like, and like they're trying to like get him back to like wherever he's supposed to be, because that's like the job they're going to try and take him to. So I don't know, it just seems kind of weird, and maybe we might get more information there, but that's some of the vibes I'm getting so far from the series. When it comes to the other main character, Kirikou, they have a very interesting, we'll say, past slash how they got to like where they're at, because the thing is, the character, he's in his sister's body, and it's nuts, because this is one of the wildest like ways I've ever seen a gender bender like thing ever happen, where it has a guy get turned into a girl. Mainly because, one, he gets ate by a man eater or something happens, but then next thing he knows, he wakes up in his sister's body, and like we really don't know exactly like why he's in his sister's body, because like we don't know that yet, so there's mystery to it. So there's no, he's actually a guy, but like his brain and all that was put into his sister's body, so now he's inside of like his sister body with his brain and all that, and it's kind of nuts just thinking about that. So like there's the mystery part of that, so it just has that little mystery element. I'm just wondering like where this exactly is gonna go, because early on in the anime we learned that like yes, it's a guy inside this body, and then like when they actually gave us the basically the detail like how this happened, it was just kind of like shocking, because I was like, wow. I was like, compared to all the other gender benders where it's usually just like they have them either turn into it by some spell or something, or they just happen to turn into it, this one actually has some crazy thing to it where a person's brain got put into another person's body, and it's just nuts there. So that part of it is very crazy. But I have heard one thing about the manga, and I know y'all keyboard warriors that have read the manga are typing this a storm up in the comments right now about it, and that is there is a crazy grape scene or something like that that happens in the manga. So basically, what I've heard is that when it comes to Kirikou, just know he's gonna find this person that they've been looking for, and that person's gonna like basically them, and that's good. And just after that happens, when it comes to they basically allow him to be okay when Maru's like mad and trying to go after him for that. So yeah, I've seen something along them lines where something like that happens, because I've seen people that read the manga have been pissed about that scene, because they're saying that's a very dumb trope and all this other things. But I digress though. But yeah, besides that little thing that I've seen from manga that I've seen people trying to talk about, because they talk about the grape scene, all that happens in the show, that it could ruin a lot of things for like this whole like series or whatever. But yeah, besides that, the rest of it's been interesting, because I do like when it comes to like post-apocalyptic worlds, I just like seeing like how the world looks, especially like how the people in that world adjust to like this new world that they have to live in. So when it comes to some of the random characters we see in the apocalypse in this world, it's kind of nuts, because there's a lot of times we see how much people have to struggle through stuff with lying, with them having maybe to sell their bodies and sell other type of things, or like the way they react, because a lot of these people, they're scared of the man eaters and stuff like that. And then we see some of the interesting characters they run into when it comes to the main characters just running into like these random people and just seeing how they are. So like one of the things we saw is just like how there technically were two different groups in like a city, and we saw like how one of the groups was like a doctor, and like his main goal was like he was trying to take care of this girl he came there with that was like sick, and she had like the man like eater disease, and that's how we kind of learned that people can turn into man eaters. And then we had this other group where they kind of just were feeling some type of way because they wanted to be the ones to be in the hospital with the generator and all this other type of stuff. So I mean, we see there's different conflicts and different groups that are in this world. So I mean, there's different things that are happening, and we even see like in the past when it comes to the one guy and like his sister, we saw that his sister was literally doing racing and stuff like that, and there was like a race. So I mean, we see that the world actually has healed in some type of way, and like so there's some type of society that is working in this post-apocalyptic world, but at the same time there's still that fear of these man-eaters though. And we see like how destroyed this world actually is. I wonder how the rest of the world looks like compared to just Japan, but you know, it's anime, so they're only gonna ever focus in Japan. So I'm just curious how the rest of the world is, and I'm just curious like what exactly got the world to this point. Like it could have been an earthquake, could have been a lot of things. I'm pretty sure it's the man-eaters that really drove it to like, but then like the man-eaters don't really explain like all the decay and all these other things. So I don't know, there had to be something exactly that happened. Maybe it said it in the episode and I just am not remembering right, but if you guys know this, let me know in the comments, because I'm curious like what exactly happened. But yeah, I really enjoyed this anime so far, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to get that great scene that people have been talking about the manga. I don't think that would happen in this season, but I'm not sure how many episodes this is getting. I think this is just getting 12 to 13. I'm pretty sure. I don't think this is getting a full 24 or whatever. But yeah, I've really been enjoying it. I love the dynamic between the two characters that are, you know, going on the journey, because they're trying to find like exactly where the one guy's from, and then also like how we're seeing like the test tube babies that are, you know, inside the inside the school/lab, and we see like how they're slowly but surely developing like these type of emotions and like learning about these certain topics that they should not know about, because the people there basically made them without giving them like certain instructions, because one, they're learning about sex and all these other things, and like they're getting emotionally attached to other characters. And we see that one of the characters actually got pregnant, and we see that's a very big deal, because like all the lab workers are losing their mind like, yo, how did this happen? This was not supposed to happen. We never told them about none of this, but it just happened because, you know, one, we have emotions and we get all these things and stuff just happens. It's already inside of us, and we get them type of emotions that drives us to get there. So that's why that happened. I'm curious to see like how that's going to develop. And plus, we've seen stuff from the past, how there was this one girl that looked like this alien thing, and then eventually she unalived herself, but like it seemed like only one guy could actually see her. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure exactly where that way is going. Then we also saw like they had these weird type of things that were growing inside a lab, and they actually looked like they were the man-eaters. That's kind of why I had like this idea of like, was that like taking place in the past or something, because like it kind of gave off them vibes of like it could have been taking place in the past, especially because the one Maru guy looks so similar to the one girl that was pregnant, and it's like, what if Maru's like her baby? That would be interesting if that was like the thing, if that was like the case. Maybe I could see that happening. And then like maybe them things that are in them test tubes are the man-eaters, and like those things are like they break out or whatever, and like they invade the rest of the world. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. It just giving that vibe that these two stories could be taking place at different times in a timeline. Like one could be the past and one could be the present. That's like the one vibe I've been getting though. But I don't know. I've been messing with Heavenly Delusion a lot though. Let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. If you haven't seen it yet, then you know you gotta watch. There's like two different ways you can watch this. I think it comes on Hulu, or you can hop on a pirate ship and watch it like I am, because I don't have Hulu, because like Hulu's one of the things I don't need, because there's not really that much on Hulu or whatever. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about Heavenly Delusions. If you enjoyed the video, like. If you didn't, you could dislike, subscribe, really enjoyed. But yeah, I've been enjoying Heavenly Delusion. I'm curious about some of the mysteries aspects of some of this, and I have heard certain things about the manga, but that don't matter. But I'm curious to see if any of these mystery aspects are going to get answered or not, or if I'm going to have to read the manga to get some of these questions, because, you know, they are on a search for a certain guy and a doctor, and I am curious on, like, why the brother is in his big sister's body. Like, what exactly happened? Did she sacrifice herself for him, or was the only thing she could save was, like, his head or something like that from the man-eater? I'm just curious about all these little things, though. But yeah, thank you for watching. I've seen this video. Bye.